Topping today's news, we observe and celebrate Commonwealth Day 2025. 2 men killed on Sunday as a result of gun violence. The government says it is moving in the right direction for primary health care, and SpaceX continues its operation to clean up debris in Bahamian waters after last week's failed rocket launch. This is your JCN Evening News. I'm Jarino Saunders. It is a pleasure to have you join us. Today is Commonwealth Day. The Bahamas is one of 56 countries with a total population of 2.7 billion people observing the day. In his Commonwealth Day message, King Charles said the Commonwealth's ability to bring together people from all over the world has stood the test of time and remains ever important today. The Commonwealth works on behalf of member countries to promote peace and prosperity. 2 more men are dead and another in hospital fighting for his life today. The victims of gun violence, both incidents on Sunday here in the capital. The first shooting occurred shortly before 7 p.m. in Munson Village in the area of Boyd Road. When police arrived on scene, they discovered a man outside a residence with gunshot wounds. Emergency medical services visited the scene and confirmed him dead. Police are looking for the driver of a light blue Japanese model car which stopped nearby, and the driver of that vehicle shot and killed the victim before fleeing the scene. In the second incident, shortly after 10:45 p.m. on Vernon Street near a park in Kennedy subdivision, just off Soldier Road, officers responded and found a man unresponsive inside a vehicle with apparent gunshot injuries. Police say a group of individuals were gathered near a derelict vehicle when a brown Japanese model vehicle approached, and the occupants inquired about a particular individual. After being told that individual was not at home, the suspects then opened fire on the group before leaving the scene. A second man was transported to hospital by a private vehicle suffering from gunshot wounds. At last reports, his condition was unknown. There have been 16 murders in country so far this year. In 2024, there were already 31 murders by March 11th. Dr. Michael Dowell, the Minister for Health and Wellness, announced that medical services in the Bahamas will take a turn for the better in the near future. Speaking during the midterm budget debate, Dr. Dowell sought to correct what he described as the miscommunication by opposition MPs for East Grand Bahama, Kwesi Thompson, stating that the Davis administration is indeed heading in the right direction as it relates to primary health care coverage.
As it stands, the NIB Chronic Drug Prescription Plan, now managed by my ministry and currently providing free drugs for chronic non-communicable diseases for just over 44,000 Bahamians, mainly governed by healthcare workers and their families. Once transferred to NHI, the 160,000 plus registered NHI members who suffer from chronic non-communicable diseases like hypertension, diabetes, heart disease, certain types of cancers, renal insufficiency, mental illness, and other illnesses will finally have access to life-changing medications free of charge. This is a huge initiative by our administration and will change medical outcomes.
Dr. Dowell also said the over 160,000 registered National Health Insurance members can look forward to receiving free medicines and medical services.
Yes, under the complete universal primary health care package, NHI patients will see the doctor free, will get lab and diagnostics free, and very soon medications for chronic non-communicable diseases will be provided free of charge in both the private and public sector for those clinics who receive or accept NHI.
According to the health minister, currently over 44,000 Bahamians are receiving free medicine under the NIB Chronic Drug Prescription Plan. This number will grow tremendously, he says. He also said that the new policy will help the poor and the unemployed by keeping money in their pockets, as well as keeping patients out of the hospital while improving medical compliance. Finally, in this segment, last year residents on Harbour Island took to the streets in a protest to a lack of reliable utilities, especially electricity on Harbour Island and mainland North Eleuthera. The government took notice and pledged to address their concerns. During her contribution to the mid-year budget debate, the minister responsible for electricity, JoBeth Kobe Davis, said relief for the residents of Harbour Island and Eleuthera is in the works.
But we recognize that Eleuthera's electricity challenges are deep. Years, Madam Speaker, years of overlooking maintenance and increasing demand from economic growth have created a crisis of enormous propensity. However, we are working quickly to resolve the problem. And in solidarity with Eleuthera, I'm wearing my pin. Yes. As you can see, it's a pineapple. But to ensure that we afford Eleutherans and its residents a better supply of electricity, we formed at BPL the Eleuthera Grid Revitalization Project Team. This team is comprised of dedicated workforce from Eleuthera, Nassau, and roving teams to ensure that the work to improve Eleuthera's grid is completely and quickly resolved.
Going forward, Kobe Davis described some of the works and infrastructural upgrades taking place on Eleuthera in terms of electricity supply.
Ongoing work include upgrades to feeder, transformer replacements, and pole reinforcements. As a more detailed update, the Rock Sound feeder upgrade is underway, and once completed, it will enhance voltage stability and reduce power outages. Further, the transformer replacement in Harbour Island and the replacement of poles in Tarpon Bay will assist in meeting the growing energy demand and enhance reliability for residents and businesses. We also expect that the retrofitting of streetlights in Wims's Bight, Palmetto Point, and Green Castle will be completed by June 2025.
Kobe Davis notified the residents on Eleuthera that some of the works may result in temporary power disruptions. She apologized to residents in advance. She said BPL's communication team has been working diligently to respond to concerns and queries raised by residents of Harbour Island and Eleuthera. You're listening to JCN News. We'll take a break here. We'll be right back following these commercials.